Mia and Mrs. Sudhya Mary to please come to the dais. Kindly take your seats. Prayer gives peace, strength, courage to handle what is ahead. Inviting all the dignitaries to the dais, I humbly request our retired General Manager, Shri John Thomas, to please come up to the dais, accompanying by staff, to grace this dais with his presence. I would request Mrs. Dr. Veena John also to please come up along with him. Of course, Yengal Kannan, Yengalukaga Kannan sir, Dr. Kannan, CSS, RH Perambur, Chief Orthopedician, to please come up to the dais, sir. Yes, it's time to invite the gorgeous, young, energetic CMS, MAS division, Dr. Shobha Jasmine, to please occupy the dais. Welcome you, sir. Welcome you. I take the privilege to call up a smart lady to the dais. Our Assistant Nursing Officer, Mrs. Indra, to please take up the dais. Sweet personality, soft spoken, yes, none other than Mrs. Tara Mary. Please come up to the dais, ma'am. I also call up Mrs. Dorothy, Assistant Nursing Officer, a very soft-spoken lady she is too. Please come up to the dais, accompanied by our staff. She is Assistant Nursing Officer at RH Perambur. I call up our President, Mr. Stanley Jones. Mr. Stanley Jones. Our President of Association of Railway Nurses of India. I call up the General Secretary, Mr. Mr. Deepu Matthew to please come upon to the dais. Welcoming you all once again. My time to call young, energetic, ever-smiling friend, Association of Railway Nurses of India's General Secretary, Mr. Deepu Matthew, to give the welcome address.
Good evening all, honored guests, colleagues and our incredible nurses. It is my privilege to welcome you all to this celebration of our International Nurses Day and the family get-together. We are also honoring those people who are retiring for this entire year from April 2024 to 25. We are especially honored to have with us today our chief guest, Sri John Thomas, retired General Manager of Southern Railway. His wife, Dr. Beena John, Senior Consultant Ophthalmologist, Aravind Eye Hospital. We welcome you, sir. We are also welcoming our PCMD, those who wish a good luck for our program, and he have already sent our message. So I am welcoming you on behalf of you. And this stage is presided by our Kannan sir, our CSS admin of Railway Hospital, Perambur. Sir, welcoming you, sir. Another wonderful personality, our Shobha Jasmine madam, when we went there to invite her, with all his smiling face, she agreed and be on time and she liked to spend some time with us. We welcome you. Then, even though without the presence, the person, those who made this program memorable, like our Satyababu sir, who helped all and with his presence, even though he is not here, with his good message, he helped us a lot to make this program a grand success. Next one, I have to invite our Indira madam, who is a support for us for all this program. We welcome you. Another person who supported for us is Tara madam, Assistant Nursing Officer of ICF. Sir, madam, we are welcoming you for us. And last and not the least, our Dorothy madam, who helped us a lot to make this program a success. Welcome you. I am welcoming our President, Stanley brother, who made this program with his own hearted effort. He may have finally made this program. Welcome you, sir. But even I am not welcoming you people, this program will not be a success because with your efforts, with your family it is a family get together. You all people came here, sir. We are welcoming you all people. Your presence here underscores the significance of this occasion and the vital role of nurses play in our healthcare system. Today we gather to honor the dedication, compassion and professionalism of nurses around the world. This year's theme, Our Nurses, Our Future. This resonates deeply with the significance of our contributions. Nurses are not only the backbone of our healthcare system, but also the heart and soul that keep it thriving. Your commitment to caring for patients with empathy and expertise shape the future of healthcare every single day. In light of this, we must recognize the economic power of care. The impact of nursing goes beyond the patient health and well-being. It extends to the very fabric of our society and economy. Nurses are a pivotal role promoting public health, preventing disease, and improving the quality of life, which in turn boosts productivity and reduces the healthcare cost. Your work drives not only better health outcomes, but also economic stability and growth. As we look to the future, let us celebrate the invaluable role of nurses. Let us acknowledge the challenges you face and the tireless efforts you put forth, often under immense pressure. And let us commit to supporting and investing in nursing as a cornerstone of a resilient and effective healthcare system. Thank you for your unwavering dedication, your endless compassion, and your steadfast courage. You are the true heroes of healthcare, and your work today is shaping a brighter, healthier future for all. welcome and thank you.
Deepu, that was a very warm welcome. We'll go for the lamp lighting. Respected dignitaries, guests, we are about to commence to our event by lighting the lamp of knowledge and wisdom. This signifies the dispelling of darkness and igniting of thoughts and enlightenment. I request the volunteer to please assist our retired General Manager, Dr. Binu John, Dr. Kannan, Dr. Shobha, and our ANM, Mrs. Tara Miri. Lighting the lamp removes the darkness. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Let's go to the presidential address. Kindly take your seats. Prayer gives peace, strength, courage to handle what is ahead. Inviting all the dignitaries to the dais, I humbly request our retired General Manager, Shri John Thomas, to please come up to the dais, accompanying by staff, to grace this dais with his presence. I would request Mrs. Dr. Veena John also to please come up along with him. Of course, Yengal Kannan, Yengalukkaga Kannan sir, Dr. Kannan, CSS, RH Perambur, Chief Orthopedician, to please come up to the dais, sir. Yes, it's time to invite the gorgeous, young, energetic CMS, MAS division, Dr. Shobha Jasmine, to please occupy the dais. Welcome, you, sir. Madam? Welcome, you. I take the privilege to call up a smart lady to the dais. Our Assistant Nursing Officer, Mrs. Indra, to please take up the dais. Sweet personality, soft spoken, yes, none other than Mrs. Tara Mary. Please come up to the dais, ma'am. I also call up Mrs. Dorothy, Assistant Nursing Officer, a very soft-spoken lady she is too. Please come up to the dais, ma'am, accompanied by our staff. She is Assistant Nursing Officer at RH Peramboor. I call up our President, Mr. Stanley Jones. Mr. Stanley Jones. Our President of Association of Railway Nurses of India. I call up the General Secretary, Mr. Deepu Matthew, to please come upon to the dais. Welcoming you all once again. My time to call young, energetic, ever-smiling friend, Association of Railway Nurses of India's General Secretary, Mr. Deepu Matthew, to give the welcome address.
Good evening all, honored guests, colleagues and our incredible nurses. It is my privilege to welcome you all to this celebration of our International Nurses Day and the family get-together. We are also honoring those people who are retiring for this entire year from April 2024 to 25. We are especially honored to have with us today our Chief Guest, Sri John Thomas, retired General Manager of Southern Railway. His wife, Dr. Beena John, Senior Consultant Ophthalmologist, Aravind Eye Hospital. We welcome you, sir. We are also welcoming our PCMD, those who wish a good luck for our program, and he have already sent our message. So I am welcoming you on behalf of you. And this stage is presided by our Kannan sir, our CSS admin of Railway Hospital Peramboor. Sir, welcoming you, sir. Another wonderful personality, our Shobha Jasmine madam, when we went there to invite her, with all his smiling face, she did and be on time and she liked to spend some time with us. We welcome you. Then, even though without the presence, the person, those who made this program memorable, like our Satyababu sir, who helped all and with his presence, even though he is not here, with his good message, he helped us a lot to make this program a grand success. Next one, I have to invite our Indra madam, who is a support for us for all this program. We welcome you. Another person who supported for us is Tara madam, Assistant Nursing Officer of ICF. Sir, madam, we are welcoming you, sir. And last and not the least, our Dorothy madam, who helped us a lot to make this program a success. Welcome you. I am welcoming our President, Stanley brother, who made this program with his own hearted effort. He may have finally made this program. Welcome you, sir. But even I am not welcoming you people, this program will not be a success because with your efforts, with your family it is a family get together. You all people came here, sir. We are welcoming you all people. Your presence here underscores the significance of this occasion and the vital role of nurses play in our healthcare system. Today we gather to honor the dedication, compassion, and professionalism of nurses around the world. This year's theme, Our Nurses, Our Future. This resonates deeply with the significance of our contributions. Nurses are not only the backbone of our healthcare system, but also the heart and soul that keep it thriving. Your commitment to caring for patients with empathy and expertise shape the future of healthcare every single day. In light of this, we must recognize the economic power of care. The impact of nursing goes beyond the patient health and well-being. It extends to the very fabric of our society and economy. Nurses are a pivotal role promoting public health, preventing disease, and improving the quality of life, which in turn boosts productivity and reduces the healthcare cost. Your work drives not only better health outcomes, but also economic stability and growth. As we look to the future, let us celebrate the invaluable role of nurses. Let us acknowledge the challenges you face and the tireless efforts you put forth, often under immense pressure. And let us commit to supporting and investing in nursing as a cornerstone of a resilient and effective healthcare system. Thank you for your unwavering dedication, your endless compassion, and your steadfast courage. You are the true heroes of healthcare, and your work today is shaping a brighter, healthier future for all. Welcome and thank you.
Deepu, that was a very warm welcome. We'll go for the lamp lighting. Respected dignitaries, guests, we are about to commence to our event by lighting the lamp of knowledge and wisdom. This signifies the dispelling of darkness and igniting of thoughts and enlightenment. I request the volunteer to please assist our retired General Manager, Dr. Binu John, Dr. Kannan, Dr. Shobha, and our ANM, Mrs. Tara Mary. Lighting the lamp removes the darkness. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Let's go to the presidential address. He finished his MBBS at Madurai Medical College, finished internship, immediately joined Central Railway in the year 1991. In the year 1993 at Southern Railway, 1994 to 1997, went for his higher studies, MS Ortho, at Patiala in Punjab. Then worked at Palakkad. The year 2003 and 2005, he was at RH Perambur. 2005 to 21, he was at ICF. That is why I call Engalin Chella Pillai, Dr. Kannan. Currently, and he was in Solapur after that. Currently, he is now as CSS and Chief Orthopedician at RH Perambur. His achievements are, he has achieved 2 gold medals, one at Vadodara and one for his MS Ortho at Patiala, Punjab. Shall we all give a good round of applause? He has also got the General Manager Award in the year 2010 and the Railway Board Award in the year 2012. You all know he is a very favorite person. Put your hands together to call up to him to his podium.
Good evening, everyone, and the dignitaries in the dais, Mr. John Thomas, sir, Actually, I met him first when he came for inauguration of the COVID vaccination at Railway Hospital ICF. He was the acting general manager of ICF, so I was the CSS there. But after he left, probably I also left the ICF hospital. Then when I went to CMS Sholapur, I heard a lot about sir. People used to kindly inquire about him always as the best DRM they had at Sholapur. So, and of course, when he was in Southern Railways itself, I joined back at RH Perambur. But I couldn't work with him for a long time because within a couple of months, I think sir retired. Of course. Welcome Bina ma'am. Then Dr. Shobha, my friend, a great surgeon, great singer, great dancer, and what all. Of course, A.N.O. Indra, she assisted me at in theatre for my first case in orthopedics. When I was in ICF, she was in the theatre as matron. Of course, then she left for the headquarters in the Tara Mary. Of course, she was in the ward, then she became A.N.O. during COVID time and all. So we had to work together for this thing during the first wave in ICF. Dorothy matron. So I am giving all the instructions to her now to carry out. Of course, some things may be good, some things people may not like, but I had to. Stanley brother, it's a long connect between us. Actually, he is a family member for us. And he calls my wife by name. And he sends message to me, sir, I have asked for a leave. If you are not granting, your home minister will take action against you. Then I used to reply, I am used to all verbal, physical and mental abuse, so no problem. So that is the way. Deepu, of course. So looking after the cardiothoracic people, so all hearts are in his hands. Of course, lot of known faces here. Coming to ICF is, I won't say it's a homecoming, but I feel at home. Because out of my 33 years in railways, nearly 16 years I have spent in this thing. That's why I am retaining my quarters still in ICF. I have not shifted anywhere. So I am in close proximity to railway hospital still. Even now, in my department itself, if any ICF patient comes with a fracture, my colleagues used to make fun of me. Sir, you go and see, otherwise whatever we say they won't accept. So that is the relation I am having with ICF, long relation. So thanks. I thank the organizers for inviting me in this function. Thank you very much. Regarding the Nurses' Day, so instead of May 12th, anyhow, we are celebrating on May 19th. So by definition of a nurse, it says they take care of the ill people, injured people or infirm people. So basically a caretaker. But as per the dictionary meaning, it may be a simple caretaker. I know only one caretaker. When I go to a officer's rest house, a caretaker will be there. He will open the room. So he will put on the AC. Sir, remote is here, this thing, anything you call me. So he changes the beds and go. So is it enough? Is it the duty of the nurse? No. What are all the things they do? Of course, their families are there, so they should also know. A caretaker may be taking care of a child at home by a mother is different. Taking care of an old person at home or in the hospital is different. So you are giving the wholesome care to each and everyone who comes to you with all their problems, physical, mental, or whatever is there. So care with compassion. So some of the qualities they have given for a nurse. Care. Of course, you are very caring. Whether you know the patient or not, you listen to them, you take care of them, and you advise them. And compassion. You are the person in the hospital who can give a compassionate care. A doctor may be coming, he may be examining, giving instructions, but you are giving the wholesome care to the patient. And you are the communicator.
We will follow your all C's wherever we are lacking. எங்களுக்காக டாக்டர் கண்ணனுக்காக நாங்கள் ஒத்துக்குவீங்களா? எங்களுக்காக டாக்டர் கண்ணனுக்காக நாங்கள், especially ICF. With this, it's my privilege and with my honor, I would like to call Mrs. V. Indra. She is an advisor. She's an outspoken friend of mine. She's a very smart lady. She'll come to the podium to talk about the nurses' theme. That is, our nurses, our future. Mrs. V. Indra's schoolings were at St. Mary's Matriculation School and her nursing was Stanley Medical College. No wonder why she is so brave like this. I also finished my nursing at MMC. That is why I am also too brave, not bothered about anybody. She finished her diploma in critical care unit at Anamla University, finished her PG, MSc, medical sociology at Madras University. She cleared RRB, joined ICF. Currently, she is the assistant nursing officer in headquarters, PCMD office. Ma'am, eagerly waiting to hear you.
Thank you, Madam Sushila. And before my starting work, thank you, Dipu brother, for your gracious welcome. And it is my time to welcome him. You two are part of us, and I welcome you for the program. அன்பும் அரவணைக்கும் நிறைந்த மாலை பொழுதில் தங்களின் இடையில் நான் பெருமிதம் கொண்டு என் நன்றி கலந்த வணக்கத்தை சமர்ப்பிக்கிறேன். வணக்கம். Good evening. Namaskar. Save one life, then you will be the hero or say heroine. But save many lives, then you will be what? You will be the nurse. Yeah. So, beloved Sri John Thomas, the person, though he has retired as a general manager, we are sure that you never have a retirement in our hearts. Dr. Bina John ma'am, Dr. C.M. Ravi sir, our Principal Chief Medical Director, Southern Railway, the person who expressed his ill feelings about not being able to attend this program. Dr. Kalani Madam, MD RH Perambur in her absence, Dr. Satyababu sir, Principal Chief Medical Officer, ICF, and Dr. Shobha Jasmine Madam, CMS, MAS, who stood behind the organizing team, patting them to take up this program forward. Dr. Kannan sir, a very good well-wisher of nurses, both in ICF and also in Southern Railway. Mr. Stanley, member of, he is the president of ARNI, and Dipu Berda, General Secretary of ARNI, that is Association of Railway Nurses of India. Other dignitaries seated down the dais, my esteemed colleague officers, Tara Mary Madam and Dorothy Madam, and also Muttamil Madam in her absence, and the real angels on earth, the heart and soul of the with their loved ones, a warm good evening all. பிறப்பு முதல் இறப்பு வரை மனிதனின் நீண்ட நெடிய பயணத்தின் முக்கிய அங்கம் செவிலியர். I, being a nurse, would take up this opportunity to wish each one and all the nursing fraternity a very happy International Nurses Day, though little belated. Never let go the person, the initiator, Miss Dorothy Sutherland, who was the person from US belonging to the Department of Health, Education and Welfare, and she was the one who has initiated and put forth the idea of taking up this International Nurses Day, but the then president has not approved it. As we all know, International Nurses Day has been celebrated every year since 1974 on May 12th by the International Council of Nurses, a federation of more than 130 national nursing associations and 28 million nurses worldwide in dedication to the celebration of birth anniversary of Kaivalaketya Karigai, lamp with life, for Florence Nightingale, and also serves to highlight the important role and invaluable contributions of nurses worldwide in the healthcare system. The passion, expertise and the resilience of the nurses make a difference in the lives of countless individuals and families. இது தற்பெருமை அல்ல, பெருமிதம். Always tell me how you feel. A very common question every nurse asks to every patient on her or his every shift. Whenever we go for the duty, soon when we change up to our uniform, we automatically get on to the auto mode. I realized that nursing is unfair. Our profession asks us to establish rapport with somebody telling them to beat the odds, then suddenly you see them go away. This year, International Council of Nurses has chosen to build the theme, Our Nurses, Our Future. I would like to hear this from all the nurses, shall we? 1, 2, 3. Our nurses, our future. Thank you. This is an evergreen theme, and with a particular focus on the economic power of care. Why? Yeah, despite being said as the backbone of the healthcare, nursing often faces financial constraints and societal undervaluation. I can hear the mind voices of many nurses saying, we are not even been provided with a good chairs or comfortable to sit, though we are now working with cat? Yeah, not the meowing cat which always chases the mouse, but I am telling about the computer at the table which is functionless without a mouse. Yes, agreed. Maybe in few due course we will be given a couch that is computer on wheel, where we can take to the patient the computer, we will finish the care and we will document everything there in the system. Still, we are now for the International Nurses Day, and the scenario we face is not the same for nurses all over the world. Let's back to the theme. ICN aims to reshape perceptions and demonstrate how strategic investment in nursing can bring considerable economic and societal benefits. The International Council of Nurses has presented an in-depth analysis of how elevating the nursing profession can transform healthcare, how investment in nursing will create improvements in healthcare delivery, and how it will be a catalyst for economic development, and how will be the advanced peace and social well-being. Not merely a statement of fame, but it is evidence-based, where nursing experts, academics and economists reveal the truth with the value of nursing to societies everywhere. Investing in nursing has an impact not only on the well-being of the population but also on the boosting of economic growth. Policymakers, healthcare administrators and even the general public are often unaware and even sometimes misinformed about the return on investment that adequate funding in nursing provides, especially in financial turbulent times. Drawing from the lessons learned from the COVID-19 pandemic and recognizing the increasing threat to the health of populations around the world due to conflicts, the climate crisis and the financial instability, we believe the time is right to advocate for a shift in perspective and the policy. I really feel worried that we are not able to even succeed in filling up the vacancies, that too, even the revenue vacancies. I can say that few of, including our CMS and CSS, few of them are striving their best to fight against this position. So anyhow, I am thanking them for their special effort for this. Economic power of care. Yes, we have the power to care, have the envision, execute and empower to be one among the decision-making team, and finally we can win. Expecting and propagating for a holistic approach not only from government and policy makers, also expecting from our own madam and sir who are going to be the policy makers in future to take up and give the power to care for our own power. Expecting shortly, sir and madam, we have stepped in to live the theme of this year, Our Nurses, Our Future. The Our Nurses, Our Future campaign will be a special unique theme. The economic power of care will shine the light on nurses and a brighter future, making nurses visibly invaluable in the eyes of policymakers, the public and all.
Our retired General Manager, Sri John Thomas, Southern Railway. We heard a lot about him. He worked in various departments. His distinguished career in railways began in the year 1984, played a pivotal roles such as Additional Divisional Railway Manager, Chief Electrical Traction Engineer, Chief Electrical Loco Engineer, Chief Safety Officer, Divisional Railway Manager of Solapur, Chief Electrical Engineer of Southern Railway, Chief Project Manager of Railway Electricals. Prior to his appointment at Southern Railway, he was the Additional General Manager of South Central Railway. Please put your hands together in welcoming our sir to the podium to give a few words.
Dr. Jasmine, all the other dignitaries on the dais, my colleagues from the nursing fraternity and your families, ladies, gentlemen and children. I would like to thank Brother Stanley Jones and all of you from the nursing fraternity for giving me this honor of being the chief guest for this function. Having worked in the railways for almost 38 years, it gives me a lot of joy to be part of such functions where I can be with the railway family once again. As has been told by the speakers before me, the International Nurses Day is celebrated to commemorate the birth of Sister Florence Nightingale. She came into prominence, which is again on the 12th of May. She came into prominence mainly during the Crimean War, which took place between 1853 and 1856. She and her colleagues with her had worked very hard. It was a very difficult war, and there were a number of casualties, a number of difficult conditions. The conditions of the hospitals during the war and the condition of the injured soldiers was very, very difficult. But she worked very hard, and it is from that war that she got the name as the Lady with the Lamp. Because one thing which was visible to many people was her walking around the injured soldiers, at the beds of the injured soldiers with a lamp in her hand, looking and seeing the condition of the soldiers when everybody else was sleeping. Thereafter, she has taken upon herself to set up the training of nurses. Then also she had played a very prominent role in improving the condition, especially sanitation in hospitals, and the condition of nurses in general. In the year 2020, when COVID-19 struck the world, the nursing community in India as well as the world over was faced with a similar situation, if not even worse than the Crimean War. And it is to your credit as nurses that you are able to fight this pandemic. It was a very difficult task. I have seen how you had to endure a lot of mental trauma when you had to helplessly see perfectly healthy people pass away when there was no and you were not able to do anything, and they were perfectly healthy till they had got this ailment, and thereafter in front of their eyes they have passed away. There were many such situations in the railways, in our hospital itself. But still you work very hard, many times at a very high risk to your own safety. You selflessly worked and see to it that whoever could be saved, you were able to save. And it's a credit to all of you that many of us who had contracted the pandemic were able to be saved. That includes me too. As per the tradition, a doctor is equated to God because he decides whether a patient will be able to be cured or he cannot be cured, and how will he be saved, what type of treatment has to be given to him, whether it is through the prescription of medicines or through a surgery. But thereafter, it is you nurses who ensures that the person is taken care of in the road to the recovery. So if doctors are equivalent to God, then you are equivalent to due to an orthopedic problem. What I've seen is that even though the nurses in the corporate hospitals like Apollo and SIMS are very good, they are no match to the nursing staff of the railway hospitals, whether it is Perambur or ICF. Maybe it is due to the reason that the nurses in the corporate hospitals are relatively less experienced. They are much younger. You have a lot of more experience, and also you are having a lot of skill and knowledge compared to the nurses in the corporate hospitals. We have also seen, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic, where nurses have not shied from even incubating the patients onto the ventilator, which is a task which is performed by the anesthetist. I therefore, as part of the railway fraternity and having worked as a general manager and having spent almost 38 years in the railways, I would like to place on record my deep gratitude to all you nurses from the nursing fraternity for the wonderful work that you have done and are still doing for all of us. Thank you once again.
Thank you very much, sir. It's such an honor to hear you speak. Gave us a very good opportunity for us to hear you talking very high about our people, sir. Thank you very much, sir, once again. Now it's time to call our superannuating sisters of this year. Here, some of our friends are awaiting for a permanent vacation from railways. They are nearing their destination. It's great pride to honor them in this occasion. Now, I would call Mrs. Khurshid Jahan S. Ahmed. Her date of appointment was in the year 1990, worked in 2 down, 2 up, got 3 CMD awards. Her spouse is Mr. Sirajuddin Ahmed, daughter Shamshen Suha. May I now request to give away the memento, our general manager, to please hand over the memento to Mrs. Khurshid Begum. And a shawl by Mrs. Dr. Beena John. I would ask them to stay back, sir, please, for some more. I request you. Thank you, Mrs. Achievements, General Manager Award in the year 2008 to 2009, CMD Award in the year 2018. A spouse, Mr. D. Christina, and daughter, Gracie. So, thank you very much, Mrs. Manager, Christina. Your service, Delhi. She was my senior at Madras Medical College when I was a student period. When I was the bottommost junior, I would be in her room only always. Mrs. S. Ramana. She is a Southern Railway CNS, appointment in the year 1988, specialty at cardiothoracic theatre, assisted all minor major cardiac operations and many special procedures by foreign consultants. Person, Mr. Arunachalam, our pharmacist of Southern Railway. He is our chief pharmacist. Daughter, Aarti in Australia, son Ashwin Ramani studying MS in Sydney. Thank you, Mrs. Ratnam, for your valuable service in Southern Railway. Next, I would call on Mrs. Alice Shaji. A spouse, Mr. Shaji Thomas, retired Indian Air Force. Children, Anna Anisha Shaji, the lecturer, and MM College, and Dr. Abhi Thomas Shaji, she is preparing for her NEET exam. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Alice. The next, our Annama Thomas of CNS for all the dead bodies to the relatives. Just imagine how much she might have worked during the COVID period. She had appointment date is 23/11/1990 in North Frontier Railway. Then she got the inter-railway transfer in the year 2000. The year 1993 she got Railway Week Award in North Frontier. 1997 again a Railway Week Award CNS Mrs. Kripa Shanti joined in the year 1992. She's absent here. Worked in special areas like general surgery, ortho, neuro, obs, gynae, endoscopy. Her husband, Mr. B. Kingston, retired ICF. Sons, Mr. K. Abraham and Alfred, doing business. The next will be the Shanti J. Sudhasan. She's also not present here due to her personal work. She joined in Southern Railway in the year 1991, worked in female cardiology, male cardiology, cardiac semi-ICU, post-op cardiovascular surgery, CTT, currently in female ward. Her spouse, Mr. J. Sudhasan, retired private secretary for the PCPO Southern Railway. Her son, Augustin A. Sudas, he is a COS in Southwestern Railway, SBC. May I now request her this thing to be received by Mrs. Kanipuri. Her memento and the shawl, Mrs. Kanipuri kindly did on the behalf of Mrs. Shanti. One more person I left, I think Mrs. John Sarah Raminda. She's also not present here. Also, I would call up Mrs. Muthumari. She's a CNS Southern Railway. She joined in the year 17th November 1989, worked in medical ICU, male medical ward, cath lab, radiology department at present. She is superannuating in November. Her achievements drive CNE Award. Give her a huge round of applause. Drive CNE Award. Mr. Meketram, ECG department in charge, Dr. Monisha Deborah. She is a senior medical officer at Bihar Jail. Son, Mr. Manford, is a pilot, first officer in Star Air Bangalore Airport. Please give her a big round of applause. John Sarah Previla, Honorable Speaker, Mrs. John Sarah Previla. Please come forward. Okay. Now, it's time for me to call up an exceptional award. She is, first we'll give her a huge round of applause. Srimati Durga Devi Vijay Kumari has diligently taken care of cardiac patients in post-op. One more round of big applause, please. Intensive care and semi-intensive care unit. She's highly experienced in taking care of pediatric patients who undergone cardiac surgery and cardiac intervention. She is an active participant in clinical discussion held in the hospital. She was also present in a few papers in the year 2012. She is a very reliable person and works for the growth of the institution. May I now call her to get a memento from her retired general manager. She is an exceptional friend onto the stage for her outstanding service in the cardiothoracic. She was the sister who received Adi Vishisht Railway Purashkar winner for the year 2023. I congratulate ma'am once again. It's time now for the felicitation. It's an honor for me to stand here to call up Mrs. Dorothy, our assistant nursing officer, to give a few words onto the podium. Mrs. Dorothy, please come onto the podium.
nurses of Southern Railway, ICF and your families and friends. At the outset, I'd like to thank Brother Stanley and the organizers of this function for inviting us to be a part of the celebrations of Nurses Day. John and myself have very fond memories of our interactions with the nurses of Southern Railway, and it is truly a pleasure and privilege to be here. And let me start by wishing all of you a very happy Nurses Day. Mr. Deepu, in his inaugural welcome address, had mentioned that nurses are the heart and the backbone of the healthcare industry. Being a doctor myself, I so much agree with this. As doctors, what we do is we may just diagnose a disease of the patient and plan the treatment. But ultimately, what helps the patient on the road to recovery is the role the nurses play. Dr. Kannan had mentioned nurses are hospital makers. Being an ophthalmologist, I work at Arvindai Hospital, and there I definitely agree with him when he says that the nurses are the hospital makers. At Arvindai Hospital, we have the equivalent of the nurses of general hospitals. We call them mid-level ophthalmic personnel. And right from checking the patient's class prescription to taking care of patients in the OPD, taking care of patients in the pre-operative and the post-operative, assisting us during surgery, nurses are really the backbone of our hospital, and without them, we will not be able to function. And I'm sure, and I know that this is the situation in every hospital, whether it is a small eye care hospital or a major multi-speciality hospital. Nurses are the backbone, and we really appreciate what you do. What Dr. Kannan mentioned, your care, your compassion, your communication is what plays a real vital role as far as the patient's recovery is concerned. Many times we don't have time or the patients to deal with the patients and their doubts and questions. But you being with the patient much longer than us, especially when they are admitted, all the nurses of Railway Hospital who took care of her during the last 2 months of her life before she passed away. She was affected with COVID-19 initially, and during that time she had a fall and fractured her hip joint. So initially she was admitted in the new block, and at that time when she had her fracture, both the senior orthopedic surgeons of Southern Railway were also down with COVID. So we had to take her out for surgery, and in her post-operative period, she had a cardiac arrest in a hospital outside, in one of the private hospitals outside. So they managed to resuscitate her, and she was there for about 4 or 5 days. But because of the difficulties we faced there, we decided to bring her back to Railway Hospital, because we had seen the kind of care she had received in Railway Hospital before she was taken there. And during the 2 months when she was here, we used to visit her twice a day. And during those visits, I had personally seen the care which was given to her by the nurses. Though she was there for 2 months, she did not develop even a sign of a single bed sore. They had taken so much care to see that she was turned on either side. She was on the tracheostomy tube. She had a catheter for her bladder. She had rice tube feeding. There were so many problems which she had. But even though she may have passed away, I have the satisfaction that she had the best care which could have been given to her during the last 2 months. And that is mainly because of the excellent nursing care which was given to her at Railway Hospital. So at this time, me and my family members will be forever grateful to the nurses of Railway Hospital, both the nurses who took care of her in the COVID ward, as well as the nurses who were taking care of her in the ICU in the main hospital during her last few days. So before I conclude, I agree with all the speakers before me. You are the heart and and the backbone and hospital makers. And wishing you all the very best and hope that you will continue to make a difference in the lives of the patients whom you treat. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for your honey pouring words in our ears. Yes, our Dr. Shobha Jasmine. We immediately accepted our invitation to join with us. She was literally helping us throughout over the phone what to do, what not to do. Ma'am is a very friendly in nature, a well-wisher. She joined in Southern Railway on 27th August 1991. As ADMO, she is a general and laparoscopic surgeon, and I could see her coming to ICF doing surgeries very often. Was instrumental in starting a 4-bedded ICU, full-fledged physiotherapy, renovated operation theatre, etc. at DRH TVP. Presently working as CMS MAS since 6th December 2021. Ma'am, you're waiting for your words.
Respected Sri Grant Thomas sir, Dr. Beena John ma'am, Dr. Kannan, Nurse Indira, Tara Mary, Dorothy, Stanley brother, Ibu brother, and of course my dear Sushila sister, and all my brothers and sisters and family members. Wishing you all a very blessed evening. At the outset, I would like to thank the organizers for inviting me to this prestigious function. It has already been mentioned why we are gathered here today. We have gathered here today to commemorate the work and teachings of the great Florence Nightingale, who was born on May 12, 1820. Even after 204 years have passed, the whole world is still in awe, is still admiring, and with gratitude for all the work she has done for humanity. She is the mother, or rather she is the founder of modern nursing. Actually, by profession she was a statistician, but it was, as Sir suggested, as Sir mentioned, it was during the Crimean War that her efforts came to the forefront, and she was affectionately called the Lady with the Lamp, because she was going around searching for people who are suffering. To alleviate their pain, she was a lady with compassion and commitment, and every year, as earlier mentioned from 1974, we are celebrating, the world is celebrating May 12th as International Nurses Day. We are a little belated. On this occasion, today, I would like to thank all my sisters and brothers who have been with me in my journey of life, both career-wise as well as in my personal life. When I joined, as already mentioned by Sister Sushila, when I joined on 27/8/1991 as ADM at Trivandrum, Sister Punyama Varghese, I don't know how many of you know her. She was previously working in Perambur. She led me to the railway family, holding my hands, guiding me, mothering me. I can never forget her. After finishing my post-graduation general surgery and joined back as a surgeon in Trivandrum Railway Hospital, I had Sister Alice Jones. Now she was my backbone, she used to give me so much encouragement. When we started laparoscopic surgery in Trivandrum, there was hardly anything. We took equipments on rent. When we started total knee replacement, there was no orthopedic surgeon. There was only a consultant. But everything was possible because I had a strong team of nurses. I really owe you all. And of course, all the other nurses were still working there. Sister Annie Roshan, Sister Deepthi, Sister Srija. These are only few names that are coming to my mind now. And now on 6/12/21, I took up the post of, I was initially at Sonpur. Before that I was at Trichy. I was staying in the house of Sister Susan. The day I joined, she lent me her house. So every time I have a connection with the nurses. And it was a great time at Trichy. After that I was post as CMS at Sonpur. Just 66 days. But it was a wonderful holiday for me because it was such a nice time learning with the northern people, and I could bring in so many changes exclusively with the help of my nursing fraternity. We could restart the OT after so many years. I appointed one, Deepak. He was a young brother who took on the charge of OT nurse. And since then they have been doing surgeries wonderfully well. And now here with MS, I have a team led by Sister Ramani Stella, Sister Anu, she's here, Sister Rani is here. They're all part of my team, and I have been able to give productive commitment to this society because of the able, constructive help and support from my nurses. And lastly, it would be, it is my pleasure and privilege to say that our PCMD let me operate because I'm a general surgeon. He allowed me to operate at ICF. And now previously when I was operating in Trivandrum, every second I used to get a call. When I started operating in ICF, I know the moment I post a patient, she or he is very safe. The moment the patient steps into ICF, there is Sushila sister and a whole team willing to take on the task. And after surgery, during surgery, we have Soundararajan brother, we have Abhijit, we have Rani sister, so everybody is there to look after the needs of the patient. And they are all there, and only at the time of discharge that I come to know they are discharged. That is a faith I have in my nurses, whether they are sisters or brothers. I owe you all. If I don't mention an incident, see, I was also a COVID patient. And I was nursed back to health by another Stanley brother, and that is how our friendship started. And till my death, I will remember with gratitude. That's why I'm telling you all, see, the doctors are really part of the profession. To complete this noble profession, nurses form the major chunk, and of course other paramedics too. And it is our duty to see that, just like me, I was a patient once. Every patient will remember us with gratitude. I'm reminded of a small incident. When I was in my third year of MBBS, that was in 1985, I was actually posted in gynec ward, and around midnight, I was just going along and seeing the patient, I was in the pay ward. I saw one nurse. I still remember her face. I don't remember her name. I saw her, bending towards a patient. And even though I was only in the third year and hardly knew anything about medicine, but I knew that this lady was very, very sick, that she was almost going to die. And this nurse, I saw her bending, trying to get a line. So the only thing I could do, I immediately called the duty house surgeon. I was only a third year student. I called the duty doctor. They all came. They gave them instructions and they went back. But this nurse, she refused to give up. And I sat with her. Whole night we sat with the patient, and finally the sister was able to get a line on a scalp. This happened 40 years back, almost 39 years back, and she could infuse her fluids. And cut the story short, she could hand over a live patient the very next day. The patient survived. This patient was a private patient of the duty of the department heads. But at a time of crisis, there was no doctor, there was no HOD. It was a nurse. It was the fortitude of the nurse who gave her back her life. So this is the importance of nursing. Everybody has to be a Florence Nightingale. I don't want to bore you because I know you're all waiting for a cultural feast. So if I get a mic, I'll keep on talking. So I just want to mention a few things. Be passionate. You must have passion and compassion. Passionate about your work. I know railway nurses, it's not only nursing, we also have administrative work. So every single thing, we have to work with a passion. And there must be compassion, commitment, empathy. You must treat everybody with the same, in the same eyes, because as Mahatma Gandhi said, patient is your customer and we have to treat them with respect. And of course, the COVID times are over. God willing, I hope no more COVID or any other such crisis comes or pandemic comes. But please touch every patient. Touch them with a smile. Touch them with a kind word. Touch them with a gentle pat. And you will all be lighting the path so that you will be rendering meritorious service and also you will be healing the wounds, not only the bodily wounds, the mental wounds, and will forever be remembered with gratitude. And I think it's time for me to shut up. Thank you all so much for a very patient hearing. Once again, on this day of International Nurses Day, I congratulate you all. I hope you all have very good career ahead and also a very good personal life. Thank you all very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. But for sure, we will follow all your words to be passionate and compassionate. Thank you very much, ma'am. On this occasion, we miss two important persons. One is our PCMD, Southern Railway. Another one is our PCMO, ICF, Dr. Satyababu. Today afternoon, our PCMO, Dr. Satyababu, has messaged our famous brother. Okay, we'll move on to Dr. Ravi, our PCMD. He has given a video message. We really miss him here. Let's hear Dr. Ravi's video message.
And the theme of the year is, the theme is our nurses, our future, with special focus on economic power of care, which is aptly chosen for healthcare providers because you are the frontline workers who come in contact with the patients and you are the healers, and cost is nowhere equals your services. And my best wishes on the day of International Nurses. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. We miss you. Our PCMO, Dr. Satyababu's message to our brother Sounder today at 3:18 p.m. Good afternoon. As you have gathered to celebrate the annual Nurses Day, I wish to express my profound gratitude and admiration for each and every one of you and your sincere commitment, unwavering dedication, and tireless efforts in serving others. Your sacrificial service has truly made a great difference in the lives of our patients in ICF Hospital and Railway Hospital. I pray that the Lord God Almighty shower His love and compassion on you so that you all may continue your great work joyfully in the days to come. With this regards, Dr. Satyababu, PCMO. I know Dr. Satyababu